It's Aleya Antoine. You're listening to Tease podcast.
Everyone loves a tease. Stop.
But don't get too excited.
The girlies know what a dub it is to get your pictures before the event starts. When I don't get pictures before the event starts, I go into the event with like major anxiety. I'm like, am I even gonna have fun tonight? Am I gonna leave crying because I didn't get any photos? Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tease podcast. Happy Tuesday, bitches. Or should I say, happy Aries season, bitches. I feel like I should do that in like that edit of a devil laugh where it's like, happy Aries season, bitches. Ha 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 ha. You know what I mean? So my birthday actually just went by. I am now 23 years old, which is so weird. It sounds like such a serious age, but we'll get into that in a second. But honestly, I'm on a good vibe though. Like, it's sunny, it's hot. I know that some of y'all are still in the cold, in the rain, but personally, I can't relate anymore. And that is what's making me so excited. We actually had a pool day the other day where we went to the pool. Although, I don't know if y'all knew this or if I'm just stupid. But okay, so it's been like pretty cold, right? I thought that the pool would be hot immediately because how fucking long does it take to warm up a pool? If you put, it's like a couple of bathtubs, right? So when I tried to go swimming, it was so freaking cold. I couldn't even get in it. I couldn't even get in it because it was so cold. And then we have a hot tub, and the hot tub hasn't even been that hot either. So it's like, one is like not really warm, and then one is ice cold. And here's the thing. I wanted to go in the hot tub. Me and Kai kept trying to go into the hot tub, but there was just a ton of little kids in the hot tub because the pool was too cold. And I want to know y'all's opinion. If we're at a pool or we're at pretty much anything in life, I feel like whenever there's kids around, you have to like give them the right of way, or like they take precedence over you, no matter if they're your kid or not. Like, I didn't have kids. Well, I mean, not I didn't have, as if like I had an option and I'm like 45 now. I don't have kids. So like it does suck living in a world where I still have to like be a random parent, you know, at times. And I have little siblings, so I get that like special treatment, you know what I mean? But I was really irritated because there was like over 10 kids in the jacuzzi for over 2.5 hours. Keep in mind, it's like already 7, close to 8 o'clock. I feel like their parents should have pulled them out, because not just for me and Kai, but there was like 5 other or 6 other adults there, and we were all just sitting in the chairs staring at these kids waiting for our turn. Like a bunch of big ass kids. Like, we're all like, can I go swimming now? Like, there's a guy and he's all muscly. He's like, and I can hear him on the phone. Yeah, there's just a bunch of kids in there right now. There's like these 3 really pretty girls, and they're just all laying down, just staring at the kids. And the parents just like weren't getting the hint, or maybe they were, but it's like now these kids are all in it. And now I honestly gave up because I was like, you know what? They've been in there for so long. And I know that kids pee in the pool. I know adults pee in the pool. Don't you fucking lie. But I know kids be peeing and peeing and peeing. So like now I don't even want to go because it's going to be like kid water. You know what I mean? But what do y'all think about that? Because I personally felt like they should have had a timer, because like over 2 hours and it's the evening. It just reminded me of like when I went to school, because when I was a kid, I went to one of those schools where it was elementary and middle school under like the same building. So like elementary school was like in the basement and the first floor, and then the top floor was like upper elementary, and then there was like a whole separate, not another building, like portables, like mobile homes, and that's where middle school was. That's why when I say I went to private school, I'm like, I didn't go to like private school Gossip Girl. I went to like private school. We were about to go bankrupt every other year. But yeah, no, so we had school in like the mobile homes and portables on the sides of the building, or like in the basically backyard of the actual building. And I remember we would do fire drills and stuff. And I mean, when I was in middle school, we could get out of the door pretty easily because we're right outside. But when I was like in upper elementary, they were like, if there's a fire drill or like a fire of some sorts, you have to like let the little kids go before you. Now, what I'm about to say is gonna sound so fucked up, but all of me and my friends would be like, if there's an actual fire, I ain't waiting for anyone. I'm running out the door. I'll pick up a kid on my way to help out, but I'm running and sprinting out the door. I'm not gonna wait for the little kids to go single file in a line. And you know, they would do like the one hand, like a whisper over the mouth, and then the peace signs in the air. What even is this? Like, it's like throwing up signs when you're in elementary. Like, this was the original one. You know which one I'm talking about? And so I was like, you would really like have all of us just like stand here. And I'm not even kidding, during the drills, they would be walking so slow. I'm like, the building already burned down by the time like we're waiting. You know what I mean? And yeah, so like, what do y'all think about that? See, this is why I go to adults only resorts and why I go out at night, is because like, when I'm with my siblings, it's fun because I can use them as a fast pass to get whatever I want. I'm like, I have a kid with me. Can you let me through? But like when it's just me, I feel like I mean, it's not like I'm gonna jump in the pool with all those kids, but I feel like we should be given like at least a little bit of fair treatment. Like, I was a kid once. I'm a retired kid. So like, can I have my turn in the pool? And see, you know, that's another reason why I'm probably never gonna have kids, is because like it's just like they're already everywhere. It's honestly probably though because I'm an oldest daughter and my siblings are so much younger than me, but I don't think that's unique. I used to think that I was the only person like this, but I think that we should make a support group because there's a lot of us. There's so many people where we have moms that had us really young, right? Like, you're the oldest that your mom had when she was anywhere between high school to like 23, right? And then they take a huge gap, probably get remarried or something, and then you have siblings that are over a decade younger than you. Like, Kai has a sister who's I think 11 and then I have siblings who are like 9 and 10. I have a friend where she's 20 and her brother's like 4. Like, there is a whole group of us that need to band together, and we just like should have like a weekly convo. And I think that's why people my age aren't having kids as much, is because so many of us already have like super younger siblings. My friends that actually did have a baby recently or like planning to get pregnant, they don't have little siblings. Like, their siblings are all older than them or a little bit younger, but there's no like huge age gap. So I think that they still think that like, oh my god, kids are like so cool. And I'm not trying to drag kids. I love some kids, but like, I've done it before. I've raised a child. My daughter is 9 years old. Like, I need a break. It's a kid's world and we're just living in it. But anyways, speaking of getting older and not being a kid, I turned 23 this Thursday, which is so crazy. I don't want to say that the years flew by, but like, I don't really know how I got to 23 like this quickly. It's definitely a scary age, but my birthday was definitely really good. It was bittersweet, but it was definitely better than the first time that I turned 23. This was not the first time I turned 23. This was the second time. So when I was 19, I had a fake ID and I wanted to go to Austin. And I think my fake ID birthday was 1998. I don't know. I used to be obsessed with the year 1998. Not that anything happened in 1998. I just thought that it sounded like a cool year. Like, I was like, I wish I was born then. Now I don't wish that because I'm younger than all the people born in 98, but I just thought it was so cool. We went to like downtown Austin. Oh, there's a name for it. There's a name for downtown Austin, but I forgot what the name is. It's where like all the clubs and everything are. But we went there and all of my friends had fake IDs too. And when it was my birthday, even the bouncers were kind of like, 23 really? And I'm like, it's my birthday. I had on the sash and everything. So everyone was like, your Jordan year. It's your Jordan year. And that's how I learned that this year's my Jordan year. One girl that I invited, I told everyone, if you're gonna come, bring your fake so we can get in. She didn't bring a fake. I don't even think she attempted to bring a fake. She brought her real ID and was like, well, I thought if I just ask nicely, they'll let me in. Honestly, I should have been more pissed, and that should have made me end the friendship because she ruined my whole birthday. Like, literally, we could barely go to any clubs because then she would be with us. And, like, one person having a younger ID does make us all look even more suspicious than we already looked. So, we only got to go to one club. So, my other friends were bored. So, then two of my friends, one left with her boyfriend. I think the other one left with her boyfriend, too. They might have both left with the same boyfriend. I don't know. Then, my other friend, who was actually legally like 24, was like, I'm bored too. So, me and my friend, who's also 24, are gonna go to a club that we can actually get into. And on my birthday, I'm left babysitting the bitch who ruined my birthday. That and Kai was supposed to surprise me coming from San Antonio because that's when they were stationed there. And then they got into lockdown because someone snuck like weed or coke on the base. So Kai was like, I can't come. So then basically my whole 19th birthday blew up, and it ended up with me at a UT Austin frat party, and there's just a bunch of like white guys singing happy birthday to me while I'm standing on the counter. It was definitely a weird night, but this one definitely was way more of like a low-key 23. And you know what? I think the reason why I gave away is because now that I'm 23, what 23-year-old would spend their birthday like that? This birthday was definitely bittersweet. I would say let's start with the good because, you know, I'm a positive person. I like to think positive. So some of the good things that happened were I love getting wished happy birthday. I am just a fire sign. I'm just an Aries, and I'm a little conceited. And I love when people tell me happy birthday. And so we have like this big family group chat, as I think pretty much every family has a family group chat with like the whole extended family. There's numbers that you don't even know. I keep this group chat on mute and I never answer until it's my birthday. That thing is on mute. It's on Do Not Disturb. But on March 27th, best believe I'm checking that group chat. And I'm like, are y'all gonna say happy birthday? Everyone's sending pictures of them with me. And I was like, ah. And then my family does this thing to where like everyone calls you. So like I spent the whole day in the beginning half on the phone just talking to people. But then everyone sings you happy birthday, which is so fun. I honestly don't even think that this is like a family thing because we definitely don't all do it for each other. I think it's because, yes, I'm the oldest in like my immediate family, but growing up, so I actually don't have like any cousins. I don't have any first cousins or anything. I only have second cousins because my mom doesn't have any siblings. So all of my second cousins were like in high school maybe, or like 20s. No, they were in high school definitely when I was a kid. And my grandma was in her 40s, my mom was in her 20s. Like everyone was a lot younger. Like it wasn't the typical family where your grandma's 70 and your mom is 40. Like no one was over the age of 50. The only person over the age of 50 was my great grandma, who was like in her 60s. And so everyone was really young. And so that was when we would all spend like holidays together, like Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving. Like that was probably my only taste of having like a big family gathering because like none of us do that anymore. Everyone just hangs out with like their immediate family now because like everyone's older. But when we would do this, I was like the only kid. Like the next person older than me was like at least 15. So I was the only person that was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like I was the baby. So like I'm technically like the youngest of my family. You know what I mean? I feel like whenever you're like the oldest daughter, it sucks in your immediate family. But as far as like your extended family, it's the best thing ever because you're like the only one that people care about. Like people are like, oh, you have other siblings. That's so cute. But like you're the first. You're the one that we all know. You know what I mean? So I just feel like everyone just like goes out for my birthday, and so it's really nice. But this birthday was super good because me and Kai went out for dinner, and we went to the strip, and we went to this really cool place called Cathedral. I don't know, just like the name of it sounds like, ooh, you know what I mean? And first of all, it started off amazing because my outfit. if I have on a good outfit, there is nothing I can't do. And I realize, I've said before, maybe I haven't said this, but I've thought it. I hate getting ready. I normally hate putting on makeup. I hate doing my hair. I just like don't like the process, right? And I realize it's because I just have to give a fuck about where I'm going or like not have anxiety about it. Because when I was getting ready for my birthday, I enjoyed it. When I was getting ready for Kai's birthday, I enjoyed it. But when I'm like going out with like my friends and I feel like we're not even gonna get pictures and it's gonna be sweaty and there's gonna be clubs and my makeup's gonna get sticky, then I don't enjoy it. Then I'm like, I hate getting ready. So I realize me hating getting ready is just a sign that like I'm not 100% on board with what I'm doing that day. If I tell you I hate getting ready right now, it's because my heart's not in it and I don't really want to go. But I loved my outfit, and it's so funny because normally I like go shopping for my birthday and I like get out like a new dress as one does and I buy all this. Like we all do it. It's like the girls thing, you know what I mean? You don't even have to be spending your birthday with anyone, but I feel like every girl is like, what's gonna be my birthday dress? But I was like, you know what? I have so many clothes that I haven't worn. And I have so many outfits that like I never wore in Washington because I was like, it never like really fit the vibe. So I just outfit saved it. And then I have some outfits to where I maybe took Instagram pictures in them, but I really didn't even go out in them in Washington. So like they're not even really used either. You know what I mean? So I was like, I feel like I don't need to shop. This is a risk, but I feel like I have something. And lo and behold, I find in a garment bag all the way in the back of my closet the most beautiful, long, sparkly silver skirt, like floor length skirt. It was so cute. And I love, love, love. The Caribbean me gets freaking wet when I think of a maxi skirt and a crop top. Like a maxi skirt and a crop top, hate to see me coming. That's like my summer uniform. I love it, especially because I have a short torso but really long legs. So it makes my legs look really long. And then I have like a super tiny crop top that shows off like my abs. I have a six pack coming in, which is so weird. So weird. Guys, the juice cleanse changed my fucking life. We can talk about that another time though. But I was like, okay, this is gonna be so cute. And then I wore my hair in like this slick back ponytail and I did like some curtain bangs in the front. And then my mom got me these sparkly black and silver heels that I also have never worn. And I was just like, an outfit is born. Even the earrings that I had never worn. So this is your sign to maybe you don't need to buy a new outfit. Maybe you need to look at what the fuck have you been outfit saving? Because when I was looking through all my garment bags, I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot that I even had this. So finally it's summer and I can get through that stuff. And it was just a really good birthday dinner. I really enjoyed spending it with Kai and we had just like a really good night. It was so cute. And honestly, I got good pictures. And when I get good pictures by night, nothing can ruin it. Nothing can ruin it. Not only did I get good pictures, I got good pictures before the meal even started. The girlies know what a dub it is to get your pictures before the event starts. When I don't get pictures before the event starts, I go into the event with like major anxiety. I'm like, am I even gonna have fun tonight? Am I gonna leave crying because I didn't get any photos? Did I even wear this outfit for something? Was there even a point in wearing this? Like, should I have just waited to wear this if we're not gonna get any fucking pictures? Why did I look this good if we're not gonna get any fucking pictures? Like, that's the energy I bring to the function. So when I get pictures before the function, I'm having the best time of my life. It's like a different version of me. Like, it's like one version of me is hangry, and then this is like me blissful. Like, I'm like, all is good. It could honestly be even like the lamest vibe, but if I got pictures before, I'm like, I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time. But then it could be the most lit vibe. But if I didn't get any pictures, I'm like, what was the point, you know? So that all made my birthday good. High, high, high. I would say some of the bittersweet things that y'all maybe probably relate to, especially like at this age. I feel like I need $1 every time I say on an episode at this age. But you know what? I've never been this age before, so like I'm learning. But This was my first time not spending a birthday with friends. And I know I said that I was going to intentionally only be spending like the day of my birthday with family, but there is something really bittersweet about it because if I'm being honest, living in a new city in Las Vegas, even if I wanted to celebrate my birthday with friends, I couldn't because I don't really have a lot of friends here. Like, I know people here, but we're not close enough to do like birthday stuff, you know what I mean? And so it's one thing to choose to do something away, right? Like it's one thing to be like, I'm not spending this with all my friends, just my family. It's another thing to not have the option to choose between. It's another thing to not have the option to choose between. And so that was kind of bittersweet just because I'm used to maybe not having a ton of friends, but like at least 3, 4, something like that, where we all do something for it. I will share a win though. I didn't cry on this birthday. I didn't cry on this birthday. This is the first birthday, guys, where I haven't cried. So maybe the friend thing was a good call, no matter how the call came about. But I did cry the day after. I did cry the day after only because you know that saying, nobody likes you when you're 23? Not that I've been 23 for even a week, but I kind of get it because, okay, when you're 18, 19, you're an adult, but you're a teenager, right? And then you're 20, you're still like not even 21. What can you really do? And then you're 21, and it's like 21's just for partying and fun. 22 is literally the same age at 21, except you're kind of tired of being hungover. 23, I feel like shit's supposed to get real. Like I feel like I'm supposed to like have something in my life together. And it's such like it's so contrasting what people will tell you. On one half, like when I'm talking to my family, they're telling me, "You're so young, don't worry about anything. Just have fun, live your life." And then the other half is like, "So, what are you doing about the job? You already graduated school. What are you gonna do with that? What are you doing there? What it like?" And so it feels like I'm supposed to have all the answers while still being blissful, youthful, and partying and having fun. Like it's so contradicting and it's so like perplexing. And it's not even just from other people. Like I myself thought that I would be further in life at this age. Like I always had this preconceived notion that by the time I'm like 23, I will have my life together. I'll have a $50,000 in my savings. I'll have a job that I really love. All of like my business ventures will be like on the come up. Like I don't know what I was thinking. I was a delusional idiot is what I was thinking. So I literally spent the next day, at least it wasn't my birthday, right? I spent my post birthday just kind of in a funk, like just feeling really down because I was like, I feel like I haven't done enough. And it's also because, like, I would say that I'm a very smart person, like, intelligence wise. Like, I've always had all A's. I've always had, like, a 3.8 to a 4.0. I've never failed a class. Like, when it comes to like books and stuff, like I'm pretty smart and like it's easy for me, you know what I mean? It's easy for me to write, it's easy for me to talk, it's easy for me to do like math, like everything like is kind of not too mind-boggling for me, you know? Like even getting stuff together that you don't learn in school, like your finances, how to build good credit, how to get a credit card, how to apply for this, how to like I know how to do all that stuff. But as much as I know how to do all that stuff, at my heart, I would say that I'm like more of a creative. That's where like I find that like my passion actually lies, hint what I'm doing right now. And the thing about being a creative or being an entrepreneur, like honestly, I think that anyone can relate. And by creative, I know this is a wide range. Singers, dancers, actors, like it goes on and on and on. Actual like artists that draw, but then also just even maybe someone who does have a corporate life, but you still have something that you really love doing on the side, you know what I mean? And I feel like the problem with creative ventures and passion projects, and the reason why a lot of people don't get to them till later in life, is because no one gives you credit for your passion until you're making a shit ton of money from it and there's visible results. It doesn't matter about the little wins that you see where you're like, oh, this took off. I got another follower on this. This person liked how I did this. Like, it doesn't matter the little accomplishments that you pat yourself on the back for, because other people who are trying to keep tabs on you, or they're checking up on you, or maybe it's like your partner and they're like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? No one understands or really even gives you credit, because they're like, what the fuck are you doing? You're not making like a gazillion dollars to live in a mansion from this, so why are you even wasting your time on it? And so that's definitely something that like I'm battling with, because I hear that all the time. It's like, oh, I'm so glad that you're doing this, but like, what are you actually gonna be doing? Like, what are you actually gonna do? And I know exactly what the undertone of the actually means, and it's just so frustrating, because I'm already telling myself that. You know what I mean? You know, when you're already hard on yourself, you're your worst critic. You know what you need to do to level up in life. You're making steps to get there. You're still hard on yourself. And you're already like your own bully in your head, right? And then you have someone from an outside perspective going, you know, you really should do that. It's like, okay, Jessica, fuck you. I already know. And now I'm being driven even deeper down the hole. It's like when I was a kid, no, not even when I was a kid, till this day, if I'm like about to do something and someone tells me, you should do that, I don't want to do it anymore. It's not that you don't want to do it anymore, but it makes it even harder, because it's like I already felt pressured, and now I feel like my brain is going to explode, you know? Why can't you just like understand the vibe that I'm doing? Why can't you just understand the vibe? Like, the vibes are that I'm getting there. I can tell that this has been really bothering me though, because I've been having this weird thing. I'm either gonna say this and y'all are gonna be like, me too, or you're gonna say this and be like, you're psycho. I've been having so many nostalgia dreams lately, and that's how I know that I really am in like a very pivotal point. I heard that when you're 23, not your frontal lobe, but your frontal cortex is developed. So you're like trying to merge your youthful outlook with your adult life outlook. And that's why we all feel constantly behind, is because you're actually seeing reality for what it is. Like, I saw another quote that was like, how come at 18 I knew everything and now I know nothing? That's exactly how I feel. Like, I feel like I'm seeing the world through a whole new lens, and I have definitely internalized this. And the biggest sign that I know is that I've been having those nostalgia dreams. And by nostalgia dreams, I mean, for the past 2 weeks at the very least, all of my dreams have included people from my childhood. Like, not even people that I was necessarily friends with, and maybe like an acquaintance or someone who was like a couple grades older than me that I remember like their name. Like, I've been having dreams and they all feature these people. And I know that it's weird, because it's no one from high school. It's no one from like my adult friends. It's no one from like the past couple months. It's like all people I went to like elementary, middle school with, their parent. Like, it's so weird. Like, I'm having so many dreams about that. And it's like random dreams, but the characters in them are the people from like when I was really little that I don't even speak to anymore. It's not like we communicate, and it's one of those things to where it's like, oh, well, y'all were talking, so that's probably why. We don't communicate. We don't follow each other, I don't think. Like, I haven't seen a photo of them in forever. So I'm like, how is this even happening? It's so weird. So I looked up, what does it mean if you're having dreams and they're only featuring people from your childhood? Basically, what Google said is that it means that you either have unresolved business or trauma from that time in your life and your brain is trying to reconcile it, or it's like whenever you're making big life changes, especially in adulthood, you're either missing a sense of community and you're feeling isolated, or you're longing for the nostalgia and the simpleness of childhood. And I could definitely see all of those things definitely relating to me, because I would say that, yeah, like I know some people here, but it's still like, it's that new city vibe. I'm not used to it. I don't know a lot of people. In a ways, like I would say I feel socially isolated, because I don't have like a huge community, and I'm definitely one person. Like, I know that some people thrive being alone and that's like what they need. I would say that I thrive more being social. I do good in my alone time and I use my alone time to recharge, but it's not something that like I could do like long term. Like, I need to be around people. I need to talk to people. I need to have friends is basically what I'm saying. I mean, I'm a serial friend shipper. I'm a serial best friend. I'm a serial best friend, and I don't mean that in like, oh, that's so cute. I mean, like, I have an issue. Like, I always need a best friend. But then I could also say that, yeah, the nostalgia would be true because, like I said, with my family being so young when I was young, seeing everyone get older is like really like sad for me. Like, whenever, I don't know, I randomly will just cry because I'm like, my grandma's in her 60s now, like, and I'll start bawling crying, you know what I mean? Or like, my mom's in her 40s, like, I'll start bawling crying. Like, if I think too hard about how old my family is, like, I lose it. And honestly, they're not even old. It's just that I'm not used to like age, really. I'm used to like youth in general. I mean, keep in mind, the oldest person that I knew when I was younger was maybe 60. Yeah, maybe 60. And that was my great grandma. So like I feel like I'm realizing how scary life is. I'm realizing how temperamental life is. And then it also goes with, I would say that I definitely value family more because trust me, if you talked to me 2 years ago, I did not value family at all. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I would only be annoyed. And I think it's also because everyone's still treating me like a kid, you know what I mean? So I would just like get frustrated. Now that I actually have that value, it's great because you can appreciate it, but it also makes you sad because then you're like, I never want anything to happen to you. And I don't know, like I just like it just gets me going. I think that it could also have to do with I didn't tell you guys this earlier because I've been not getting comfortable, but like it's a shock for me. I recently got diagnosed with OCD. I don't know if I said that like it's serious. I don't know if I like, but I recently got diagnosed with OCD. And it's so funny because that episode where I was saying, yeah, my family's on OCD, they're very cleanly, I got diagnosed 2 days later. And it definitely has been an eye opener. So I'll give you a little background. I have gone to therapy before. I've like done all of that. I've gone to therapy for years and it never quite really fixed the actual problem that I was having because the problem that I was having was like I would get a lot of anxiety and like depression from like overthinking things. But I knew that something was off because I don't get anxiety like people normally do. Like I don't have social anxiety. I don't like overthink how I talk to people. For the most part, I'm an extrovert. So I was like, me having anxiety also doesn't make sense because I don't have anxiety over like the everyday things that you see. Like I get anxiety about like just like being successful or being productive or like am I doing enough? Like it's not something that I feel that affects like how I walk and talk and what I do in life. And then with the depression part, I'm not even like a normally depressed person at all. Like I don't feel sad. I don't have a hard time like doing things. It's only when I feel like I failed at something or I'm not doing enough that then I get really sad. So like I always knew like there's something off about this. Like it can't just be the anxiety or depression, but I didn't know what it was. Like I was like, what is it? You know what I mean? Like is there something I don't know? And so I went to the doctor. I filled out their questionnaires. I talked to her, expecting her to say something random like it's a different type of anxiety. And she goes, you have very high levels of OCD. Like on every question, everything that you've done, you have scored. If this was a test and you could get an A on OCD, you would get an A plus. And it's so crazy because in my mind, I always thought that OCD was you're very clean. Things can't be out of order. My house has to look like this. There can't be a speck right here. My clothes can be messy. Like I always thought that OCD was like a physical manifestation of people being overly clean or overly particular. But I'm not like that. I literally have bobby pins all over my coffee table. I need to dust this off a little. I need to do this whole room. There's junk all to the sides to me and I don't feel like claustrophobic. I don't feel bothered. So I was like, that's weird because all of my family that has like OCD, it's like that, you know? So I was like, how can I have OCD when I don't act like them? And she said that there's another type of OCD that a lot of people don't talk about because a lot of people don't get seen for it because they don't know what it is. And basically, the type of OCD that I have is it's in my mind. I have like endless rumination of my thoughts. So let's say that I'm thinking about the podcast, right? And I need to do an episode. I can't actually get anything else done until I do the episode. But then because I know it's so important, I get anxiety about it. And then I like hesitate on doing it because I don't want to fuck it up and I want it to be perfect. My perfectionism side is a reflection of my OCD from things having to be perfect. I want my life to be in this exact order. Whenever I do things, I always have a particular order that I do it in, you know? For instance, when I'm decorating the podcast room, right? I was like, I need a couch first, then I need the coffee table. Next, I need the dresser, then we'll go to the fake plant, then we'll go to this. And I would find things that maybe would look good in the podcast room, and Kai would be like, why don't you just get that now? And I'd be like, I can't get it now because I need to get this other thing first. And it wasn't about the money necessarily. It was more that like, I was like, that is not the order that this could go in, you know? And like, even when I'm doing maybe the even simplest task of like, let's say I need to go to get gas, then go to Smoothie King, and then go to UPS, I have to do it a certain way. This was literally me yesterday. I had to get gas first. Then I go to UPS and I go to Smoothie King. If you told me, Aleya, you can only do this by going to Smoothie King first and then UPS and then gas, I would be like, no, I can't do it like that. Like, I literally can't do it like that. This is the order. And like, I just have all these random orders that I didn't get from anyone else. And a lot of times even Kai will be like, why do we have to do it this way? And I'm like, because that's just the way it has to be done. So if you give yourself like a random order on things, and it's not about like getting dressed, I don't have an order, that whole hair, makeup, outfit type of thing. I don't care. You know what I mean? It's about actually like your day-to-day life feeling like you need an order about it, or your life in the larger scope of this is how things are supposed to go. You have a mental order, and a part of that makes you feel like, oh, I'm a very organized person. You're probably a really good boss and a good team leader because you're like, this has to be done, then this, then this, and this. That's the reason why some people are natural type A or natural leaders. Like, I would say that I've always been in any group project the leader. I was software class president. Like, I've always taken on leadership roles, but I'm learning that it's not necessarily because I technically have what it takes. It's because my mind naturally comes up with a system of things. So I need to be in charge so things can go this way. That's why people who have OCD are like good at business a lot of times, is because they're like this, and this. But they also struggle with leadership and business because that's all that they fucking think about. Like, the rumination of the thoughts is like where you're just constantly stuck on one thing. It's going to replay over your head. Like, you can't clock out of work because you're going to be thinking about work when you get home. You have a conversation with someone that bothers you and you can't get over it. Some people may call you a grudge holder. It could be a symptom of OCD because your mind is just replaying it over and over and over again. I was like the biggest grudge holder ever. I probably still am the biggest grudge holder ever, but it's because I don't forget. I don't forget. My mind is playing the conversation over and over and over again, you know? So that's another sign of like more mental OCD. And then another sign would be having like catastrophic thoughts. Like, if you're driving your car and you're like, what if I just fell over the bridge right now? If you're at a stoplight and you're like, what if someone just comes crashing at me from the other direction, you know? Thing that actually made me go to the doctor for this, like really like putting a label on it, was I was listening to Sheena Shea from Vanderpump, because she has postpartum OCD. And it's, again, not the one where you move things around. She was like, my husband would be with my daughter and I would just imagine all the ways of them dying, all the ways of them getting killed, all the ways of like something bad happening. What happens if I drop her? Like, she was like, it was to the point to where like I didn't want to go places because I would have panic attacks about something that didn't even happen. But not only did you think about it happening, your mind visually shows you it happening. That's why I don't watch scary movies, is because I already can visualize it perfectly. And so it's one thing to think, man, I hope this doesn't happen. It's the other thing to think that and then see a clear picture of exactly how something terrible could happen to you or someone you love. You know what I mean? And even for a while, I was really hesitant on wanting to be in a relationship also, because I was like, if I'm in a relationship, that means that I'm going to care about someone, and that means I'm going to worry all the fucking time about something bad happening to them. That's a sign of OCD. People without OCD, they don't imagine horrible things happening. They don't imagine the worst possible scenario. There's a lot of times where I actually am like, I don't really want to go there because I just imagine how terrible it's going to go. Even going to the movie theater, I get freaked out. I look for all the exits. But yeah, we do that because we're in a society where horrible things happen. But it's another thing to know that horrible things happen. It's another thing to literally picture it happening to you at that moment and it feels like real life. Like I would get panic attacks because I'm like, oh my God, this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. You know what I mean? Oh, another sign of OCD. I wrote down all the reasons why I might have something wrong in my notes app. Just like stuff like that, like really type A things that have always been a part of me. And I didn't really realize how much it could actually like stunt your life until I became an adult and I became more like wary of things, you know what I mean? One thing that really helped me by getting diagnosed is that now I feel like I can have more control over it. So when I am having like thoughts like that, or when I am feeling like something has to be in order, I can kind of check myself and be like, that's not how it has to be. That's just your OCD talk, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I can get something else first. That's how I was able to actually get like some of the decor for the podcast room, like the candle I showed before first, is because I was like, no, it's okay. It doesn't have to be in order. There's no like blueprint or timeline for how things have to be. And I think that that's helping me in life is because I'm like, you know what? Although I thought that my life was supposed to go in some sort of order by the time I was this age, it's okay if things are a little out of order. It's okay if it's a little scrambled. I feel like I never knew that that was like what I could potentially have because like people don't talk about it and I didn't even know about it. And honestly, it was nice to find out that I don't have like random anxiety or random depression. You know what I mean? Like she was like, you don't have those actually. What you have is OCD, and that if it goes too far, it could turn into those two things. You know what I mean? Because I never felt like those fit me. I don't know how to say it, but like I was like, that doesn't sound like me. And this definitely sounds like me. And so like there's like some comfort that I can take in it. I don't know, like maybe it's a sign that like even if you have maybe some sort of roadblock or curve or bump in your life that like affects how you do things, I think if you embrace it as it is also a part of like what makes you you, you can become more okay with it, because some of the positives are that I know I can get anything done. I know I can. I know I'm capable of completing any task and making it pretty much perfect to my personal eye. Because of that, I know that like I won't overly procrastinate. I know that I can take on leadership positions really easily. So like there's good and bad things that come with everything. Man, I wanted to conclude this episode by going like through 23 things that I learned by 23, but I feel like that would be fake and kind of lying, because I'm at this point on this day, at this time, at this second. I'm full of questions. I'm not full of answers. And so I don't want to tell you guys all these things again. I haven't been 23 for a week. Maybe we'll do that when I'm like 6 months in, because the 22 episode that we did, the 22 mistakes, I didn't do till I was like 22 and a half. Do people say and a half when you're past the age of like 8? And so that's where I'm at. And so I'm excited for this journey of us asking the questions and finding the answers together. Wow, that was a lot. That is all that I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in to this new 23 era of Tease podcast. Be sure to write in your questions, because I know that we're full of them. Stories, advice on the link in the description or the link in the bios, at Tease Pod on Instagram, at Tease Podcast at everyone else. I'm at Aleya Antoine. Go look at my birthday picture so you can see my outfit. And please rate the show 5 stars on Spotify and Apple, and subscribe subscribe on YouTube. I will see y'all next Tease Tuesday. I love you guys. Podcast room tour coming soon.